Okay, networking වල chapter 8 software defined network. දැන් මොනවාද මේ software defined networks කියන්නේ? දැන් සාමාන්‍ය network එකක් කියන්නේ hardware defined එකක් නේ. කියන්නේ cables හදලා හරි wireless උනත් ඒවා hardware setup කරලා එහෙමනේ network එකක් හදන්නේ. ඒක හුඟක් වෙලාවට fixed. නමුත් මේ software defined network එකක් කියන්නේ අපිට බොහොම ලේසියෙන් මේ network එකේ තියෙන ආකිටෙක්චර් එක වෙනස් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. හරියට නිකන් මේක හුඟක් වෙලාවට cloud computing එක තමයි මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ network එකක් තමයි මේ software defined network කියන්නේ. අවශ්‍ය විදිහට network එකේ තියෙන layout එක වෙනස් කරගන්න පුළුවන් software වලින් හදලා තියෙන network එක. එතකොට modern data center එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම host complex and more heavily subscribed web services. එතකොට ඒකේ ගොඩාක් web services host කරලා තියෙනවා. ගොඩාක් complex web services. Data centers served as environmentally protected warehouses housing large numbers of computers and served as compute and storage servers. These warehouses were protected against environmental disasters. They have redundant power systems. They are designed with duplicate capacity at disparate geographical locations, and the large number of servers are physically arranged into highly organized rows of racks of servers. එතකොට මේ තියෙන්නේ අන්නේ විදිහට ඒවා arrange කරලා තියෙන විදිහ. ඉතින් redundantly ලෝකේ එක server එකක් තියෙනවනේ ඒකේ ඔක්කොම activities and data තව server එකක ලෝකේ තව තැනක redundantly තියෙනවා. බොහොම ලස්සනට arrange කරලා තියෙන ඕන වෙලාවක ඒකේ capacity expand කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට remove කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට. Okay. Traditional switch architecture gathot switching functions are traditionally segregated into 3 separate categories common to represent each of these categories as a layer of plane: control plane, management and data planes. Then role of the control management and data planes gathot එහෙම අපි ගත්තොත් data plane එක consists of the various ports that are used for the reception and transmission of packets. It assumes responsibility for a packet buffering, packet scheduling, header modification and forward. If an arriving data packet header information is found in the forwarding table, it may be subject to some header field modification and then will be forwarded without any intervention. With of the other 2 planes, all the packets cannot forward in this manner if the header information is not available in the forwarding table, or if packet belong to some other control protocol, then it has to process the control plane. The control plane main responsibility is to keep the forwarding table updated so that the data plane can forward packet based on it. It needs to process a number of control protocols which affect forwarding table. These control protocols are responsible for managing the active topology of the network. Control protocols are sufficiently complex, so they require general purpose microprocessors and accompanying software in the control plane. And management plane network administrators configure and monitor the network using this plane. It extracts information from or modifies data in the control and data planes. Network administrators use some form of network management system to communicate with the management plane in a switch. Network administrator switch එකට log වෙනවා කියලා log වෙන්නේ management plane එකට. So the control plane එකේ තමයි processing වෙන්නේ, data plane එකේ තමයි අර ports ටික තියෙන්නේ. එතනදී වෙන්නේ purely forwarding කියන එක විතරයි. Okay, evolution of switches and control planes. Simple forwarding and routing using software. In early days of networking, almost everything except the physical layer was controlled using software. Inside bridges, switches and routers, software were used to perform almost all the tasks. Originally, hardware vendors write their own software to perform functionalities the devices. Over time, most of the basic functions moved from software to hardware. Now, most forwarding and filtering decisions implemented entirely in hardware. It's wrong method running. Simple forwarding and routing using software. මේක 1990 සිට ගත්තොත් එහෙම 2005 දක්වා කොහොමද දියුණු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ දැන් බලන්න. ඉස්සර ඔක්කොම දේවල් software වලින් control කරලා physical layer එකේ තිබ්බේ connectivity විතරයි. ඊට පස්සේ ආව layer 2 forwarding. ඒ කියන්නේ MAC address එකෙන් හරියට forward කරන්න පුළුවන් level එකට switches ආව. එතන තමයි switches කියනවා. මේ layer එකේ ආවේ hubs කියනවා මෙතනදී switches ආවා ඊට පස්සේ 2000 වගේ වෙනකොට අර manageable switches and routers කියන ඒවා quality of service ආවා ඒ දේවල් ආව එතනදී එතකොට එන්න hardware වලට built in වුණ අර software වලින් manage කරපු ඔක්කොම දේවල් එතකොට bridging කියන්නේ layer 2 forwarding basic layer to MAC forwarding of packets in handled in the hardware tables ඒ කියන්නේ කෙලින්ම MAC address එකෙන් MAC address එකට forward කරනවා routing වෙන්නේ layer 3 එකේදී ඒක IP address වලින් IP data packet තමයි වෙන්නේ advanced filtering and prioritization general traffic management rules access control lists are handled via hardware tables located in hardware and control used to make broader routing decisions and interact with other devices in order to coverage on topologies and routing paths implemented in software that runs autonomously inside the devices. So ඇත්තට මේවා hardware වලට දානවා කියන්නේ ඒකෙත් chip එකක software එකක් තමයි run වෙන්නේ. Okay, moving control of the device. Control software is the intelligence that determines optimal paths and response to outages and new networking demands. Software-defined network is about moving that control software off the device and into centrally located compute resource, which is capable of seeing the entire network and making decisions which are optimal. Given a complete understanding of the situation, software-defined network separate the network activities by forwarding, filtering, and prioritization. Forwarding responsibilities implemented in the hardware tables remain on the device. Control, complicated control software is removed from the device and placed into the centralized controller application. Applications are run above the control. Software-defined network එකක් හැදෙන්නේ. Okay. Fundamental characteristics. Plane separation of forwarding and control planes, and simplified device and centralized control. When the management and control software running on a centralized system, the devices get simplified. Network automation and virtualization, distributed state abstraction provide the global network view, and forwarding abstraction allows to specify necessary forwarding behaviors without any knowledge of vendor-specific hardware, and configuration abstraction defines the goal of the network without considering how it is implemented in the physical hardware. And openness, open software development network is a standard, well documented and not proprietary. The centralized software-based controller in SDN provides an open interface on the controller to allow automated control on the network, and northbound API allowing software applications to be plugged into the controller and thereby allowing that software to provide algorithm and protocol that can run the network efficiently. එතකොට ඉස්සර වගේ නෙමෙයි අපිට ඒවා reprogram කරන්න පුළුවන්. Southbound API is the open flow interface that the controller uses to program the network device. Okay. Main components. SDN devices. It should composed of application program interface for communication with the controller, an abstraction layer, and packet processing function. In controller maintains a view of the entire network, implements policy decisions, controls all the SDN devices that comprise the network infrastructure, and provides northbound API for applications. And SDN applications. SDN applications run above the network, SDN controller interfacing the network via controllers northbound API. එතකොට මේ තියෙන්නේ switch SDN software switch anatomy. Okay. Open flow. Open flow is one of the technologies used for software-defined networks, and open flow defines both the communication protocol between SDN data plane and SDN control plane. It does not describe the behavior of the controller itself. An open flow system consists of open flow controller communication to one or more open flow switches. The open flow protocol defines the specific messages and message format exchange between controller and data. The open flow behavior specifies how the devices should react in various situations and how it should respond to commands from the control. An example, SDN use case, data center orchestration. And with data center orchestration then data center implementation using software defined network is still in the network, still work in progress. Some organizations using SDN technologies such as OpenSDN and overlays and pilot projects in their data centers. And data center SDN implementations. And Google like open SDN use karna, Microsoft and eBay overlays use karna. The description එක බලා ගන්න. Okay. එතකොට ওই ටික තමයි අපිට මේකේ ඩිස්කස් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ.